Going in manual, paddles, let's ride, baby. I'll put the windows down a little bit, calm down. You're gonna hear this thing, trust me. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Gimmie Dem keys. Today, we're in an Evo, and I'm not talking Mitsubishi. This is a Lamborghini Huracan Evo. This is 2020. This has replaced the Performante. This has replaced the standard Huracan. If you want a Huracan in 2020 or later, it's gonna be an Evo. So, real basics. 5.2 liter V10 out the back, 640 horsepower, all-wheel drive, lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of fun. So right now we're gonna go ahead and start in Strada mode, which is basically like your street mode, just casual cruising. This is gonna be as tame as a Lamborghini's ever gonna be, right? The shifts are nice and smooth, nothing crazy, nothing too dramatic, no pops or anything. This is real calm. You know, you're just like out on a date or something like that, and you just want to relax. Even though you're driving a Lamborghini, you can't really relax, but it's calm. So we're gonna start off in Strada until we get to some more fun areas, and then we're gonna turn it up a notch. So first, let's talk about the interior. You got this fancy bucket seat with black and white stitching. It's actually holds you pretty snug, and as far as the steering wheel, you know, you're supposed to hold it at the sides. Everything is actually located on the steering wheel. So if you want to change your lanes, you got your signal light over here, you got your high beams, you got your windshield wipers, and at the bottom, that's how you change your mode. So you got Strada, your Sport, and you got Corsa. Corsa is the one that's all out full race mode. So we'll get to that later, but right now, just cruising. As far as the outside, big ass brakes. I don't really know what to describe them as other than big ass brakes. Front and rear, huge brakes. And then you got this new age bumper for the 2020 version. They added like more splitters in the bumper, and it looks a little bit more aggressive. So it's easy to tell that this is a 2020 version and up. And I think it looks pretty awesome. And then the exhaust, they have longer tips than they used to have that actually stick out past the bumper, because people have been burning diffusers and grills. And speaking of the grills are actually made of metal now instead of plastic. So you can no longer burn those anymore. So that's a good step, and it looks super aggressive now too at the back end. You also got all your buttons right here in the middle on the top of the center console, your window switches. There's actually this button right here that says A off. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but he told me basically it's like some gas saver mode where when you have it on, sometimes if you sit at a stoplight too long, it'll cut off, like to save gas, and that defeats the purpose of a Lamborghini. So he told me as soon as you get in the car, that's the first thing you hit that button, and then you don't have to worry about that anymore. So as far as Strada mode, like I said, it's real comfortable. When you change it to Sport, the tone actually changes. It opens the exhaust, and you can actually hear the difference. So let's change it to Sport now. I've already heard it at idle change. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of gas if I got a little bit of room in front of me. And now we're getting some pops. I can already tell since I put it in Sport mode, the suspension is stiffer. You definitely feel more rigidness in the car. So another cool thing about this car, especially with having Sport mode, they actually have electronic differentials. So when you put it in Sport mode, this car is all-wheel drive, but it actually in Sport mode, it's mainly biased towards rear-wheel drive. So it makes it 20% front-wheel drive and 80% rear-wheel drive. So people that drift Lamborghinis, that's usually what they do, but they put it in Sport mode, do all their donuts and stuff, because it's mostly a rear-wheel drive car. And then when you put it back in Corsa, which is full-blown race mode, it goes back to 40, 60. All right, so where did I get this car from? My friend Varel, he actually is one of the co-owners of Global Tires, the place I always go to, get my tires, get maintenance done. You might remember when I drove a blue GT3, not the RS, the regular GT3. That was Varel's car, and he actually texted me a picture and said, yo, you want to come drive my Lamborghini? Because I just got it. And I was like, yeah. And I thought it was strange because I'm like, okay, so he traded in the GT3 and got a Lamborghini. Usually it goes the opposite way. I've seen a lot of people go with Lamborghinis and actually trade down, in quotations, to a GT3 because the GT3 is more practical, it's a little cheaper, you pretty much get the same type of performance, but no, he actually still has a GT3. That was still 70%. This thing's gonna be fast. That was the first time I went 100%. We are still in sport mode, and I can tell it is definitely rear-wheel drive bias because it felt like it wanted to dance a little bit. This thing is fast. In the areas that I like to obey the speed limit. So I'm gonna do one more pull in sport mode and then we'll go to Corsa. So here's sport mode, second gear. Oh, this thing has some brakes. Oh, this thing has some brakes. Oh, this thing has some brakes. I said that 3 times. Oh, this 4th time, this thing has some brakes. Jesus. Woo! It stops and goes. Also, rev limit is 8,500, so it gets up there. So if you've been following this Gimmie Dem Keys series, then you know that this is actually the second exotic car I drove. The first one was the Ferrari F12, and that car felt amazing. It was 740 horsepower, it was a V12, it was crazy. So that's the only exotic car I can really compare it to. So at the end of this, episode, I'm gonna try to give my comparisons of which one I like better and which one, why and stuff like that. But this thing, I can say one thing already, this thing has a lot of torque. All right, I'm about to do my loop now. Means I'm gonna put the windows down. Hopefully it's not a lot of turbulence in here. There probably is. Most two-door cars, the air just does that and then it gets all on the microphone, so you might not hear a lot. Might have some ripple effects, but we're gonna put it in Corsa now, and we're in Corsa mode, and I'm basically gonna shut up. And it's louder. Let's see what Corsa mode does. Second gear. Put the windows up for a second to make sure you can hear me. I don't know the science behind it, but that definitely felt faster. The shifts were a lot more violent, and I said I was gonna shut up, so I'm gonna shut up. It should be, but it's loud. And it's stock. This is stock. There's a lot of traffic, and now there's literally a cop dead in front of me. I really can't have fun. Unless he wants to race. You think he wants to race? 40 roll? another cop over here sitting there tagging people, speeders. And that would have been my speeding ticket right there. I said I was gonna get a speeding ticket today. I ain't say it on camera because I didn't want to jinx it, but it's a hot area, so I'm about to get out of here. I don't want a speeding ticket, but I wouldn't be mad if I got one. And I completely understand. Unless I'm like doing like go to jail speeds, then I don't want to go to jail, but here's what it is. I'm driving a Lamborghini. Alright, well, since there's too many cops on the main roads, I'll start taking some back roads. Can't stop me. The shifts are so violent in Corsa. Like, even when you're not like at top RPM, it bumps you. Like, it really shakes you. Like, ugh. All the weird sound. Ugh. That's what it feels like. This car handles so easy too. Such a big car, and like if I'm comparing this thing to a GT3, which is, you know, one of my favorite cars, it's not as refined as far as steering. The steering feels a little bit more electrical than a GT3. GT3, you can feel all the bumps in the road and everything, and I actually really like that. And this car, you know, it feels like electronic steering. And I mean, I guess that's a good thing, bad thing, whatever you want to, you know, your personal preference. But as far as nimbleness, Jesus Christ, as far as nimbleness, it's pretty, you know, it's pretty darty. Like, you can put it where you want it to put it. And obviously, I don't have to tell you, it gets a bunch of looks from people. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a Lamborghini, so every time you drive by somebody, everybody's eyes is darting right towards you. Probably looking at me like, who's this guy? I'm a YouTuber. Not even a famous one. Yet. Alright, well, I'm driving off to do my last pull. Like I said, there's a lot of cops out here, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to compare the F12 versus the Lamborghini Evo. From personal experience. This is personal opinion. This is my opinion. You guys have your own opinions. Even if you have one, you may not agree. This is my opinion. My opinion. Which one do I like better? Really close. But I gotta say the F12. Oh my God. And now this is why. First of all, this thing, it is a race car, it's a Lamborghini, I get it. But the ride is very harsh. It is very bouncy, and not crazy bouncy, but it's harsh. It's really harsh. The seats, they do hold you. They are bucket seats. My back kind of hurts. I've been driving this car for about 20-30 minutes. My back hurts already. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no way I could drive this car long distance. There's no way I could drive this car like every day, every other day. It's like the only exotic with decent mirrors. This thing is comfortable, man. This thing is actually comfortable, and you actually have a lot of room behind you too. So you can actually see, like, you don't have a lot of blind spots in this car. It's a fun weekend car. It's awesome. I love the car. It's sick. As far as speed, I think this one, I don't know which one technically is faster. The other one does have more horsepower, the F12, but I think it's a heavier car and it has less torque too. This car is very torquey and it really pushes you in your seat harder than the F12 does. As far as shifting is about the same. They're both, I think this is DCT. They both shift pretty much the same. This is a very aggressive, even when you're not driving hard. Sounds awesome. As far as sound, I gotta give it to the Ferrari too. The Ferrari sound is insane, and yeah. So I mean, between the two, I gotta go with the Ferrari. If I had the money to buy either one of these cars, I would probably choose the F12. The other thing I do like about the F12 is the practicability. As far as like mirrors, your rear view is pretty much pointless in this car. You see like that much, like I'm like literally that much out of your back window. Because the F12, the engine's in the front, so you got a full back window. You don't really have a lot of blind spots here. You can't see anything out of there. So I mean, it's comparison wise, I think the F12 is a better. I'm only comparing them because this is my second exotic I really drove in this channel. So you know, I'd like to get my hands on a McLaren. So if you're out there and you got a McLaren 570, 720S, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to throw y'all in the comparison too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get all the top dogs, you feel me? Yes, this car is amazing. This car, it really is amazing, really is fun. I do see the aura of driving a Lamborghini. It is amazing. It turns heads, sounds crazy, super fun, sounds sick. It's dope. This is an awesome car. So I'm not taking anything away from this car. If I had to choose, only because I asked myself, you guys didn't ask. But this car is amazing. That just took my breath away. Wow. This car is fast, man. I'm having second thoughts now. This thing sounds insane. I'm gonna put the windows halfway down. Just crack them enough so you can hear it without the turbulence. It's probably turbulence. It feels like there's turbulence. It's hard to control these windows. It's either on or up. All right, there we go. All right, this is gonna be the last pull. Thanks for watching. Deuces. See you in the next one.